All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize immensely for my tardiness. I am an hour late with the stream, but it is not my fault. I promise you guys. All the power went out in my building. So, in fact, let me turn that light on. Alexa, turn spotlight 3 on. I ain't even got all my lights on. Hold on one second. Oh, there we go. It came on. She wasn't listening to me at first. But we are here. I am sorry. I am late, guys. Appreciate everybody who tunes in. Hopefully YouTube doesn't crush the stream because we're an hour late. But when you do come through, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Won't be the first time I say that today. We're going to be here for the next 60 minutes or so talking about all of the news in the pro wrestling world. Let me I want to see if I can get oh, sorry. All right. So we're gonna get into the show. We got a lot of news to talk about, obviously. We talked about uh a bunch of stuff last week, but we missed a couple stories. One of the stories that we did miss was the whole Drew McIntyre injury thing. Since a lot of the news about it just came out yesterday or day before yesterday, but apparently Drew McIntyre has been taken off of the road. 2022 has been a pretty rough year for wrestlers and injuries. We all remember what was going on around Forbidden Door time. Where is uh, my? Hold on one second, guys. The stream is not. Let's see. Oh, nope, that's not right. There we go. Sorry, my background wasn't working right. I don't know what was going on with that. But we are back. Sorry, it's a mess right now. The power going out kind of when it came back on, I had to like reset everything. My camera was green screened. I had to figure that out, but I don't know what happened. The power going out on a Monday morning, I'm sure had a lot of people who work from home upset. Uh, so, but we back at it. We ready to go. Let's talk about this Drew McIntyre thing. Like I was saying, it was around the Forbidden Door time. It was like everybody start going down, dropping like flies. We're starting to get a lot of those people back, especially in AEW with CM Punk and Bryan Danielson returning and more. The story was first broken by Jason Powell of ProWrestling.net, who reported that McIntyre is currently dealing with a lower back issue causing him soreness. Subsequently, a bunch of news outlets like PW Insider and Fightful will confirm the report. Fortunately, the reports all noted that McIntyre isn't expected to undergo surgery. His advertised match against Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle is still on the table, and the decision to pull him from the live events is considered a precautionary move. I think this is a very, very good idea if he actually is hurt. Backs are no joke. You get a back injury and you keep messing around with it, it could just get worse, and that pain doesn't go away unless you rest it. So I think it's smart just having him come out, cut promos. He did take a 1D from the Usos. I hope that didn't aggravate anything this past Friday night. But he he's gonna still be at Clash the Castle. So let's hope, because spoiler alert, I'm predicting him to win at Clash of the Castle and take one of the belts, if not both of them. If they put them both on the line, then he'll take both of them. I don't know how that's going to work with Roman's whole character not having any belts and being the head of the table. Especially if the Usos retain, which, like, if they lose, everybody got to lose unless they're going to tell a story and the Usos going to break away from Roman because they think they're too good. Maybe that's the story, but I don't want that to happen. I want the bloodline to stay the bloodline for as long as we could possibly keep this shit cool, which, if you go by the guys in their work, can be a very, very long time, because the Usos have never not been cool since they got rid of the face paint. You know what I mean? They pretty much been consistently dope since they dropped the face paint, came out with the new theme music, just start wearing regular clothes. You know what I mean? Fits always looking sharp. You know what I mean? Always match it to a T. As long as Jay can stay out of trouble and from behind the wheel after drinking, then we're okay. You know, obviously, we don't even need to rehash those. Just stay away from behind the wheel when you're drinking. Everybody. But yeah, so you know, I think we're in a tricky place right now with the whole with Drew McIntyre getting injured. It's horrible timing, obviously, for anybody that's a fan of Drew McIntyre or just a fan of WWE. Period, because this is the story they've been building to for so long, and this Clash the Castle is kind of starting to feel like the UK WrestleMania, if you will, like a real SummerSlam. Even though SummerSlam was pretty fucking dope, yeah, I mean, we kind of had, you know, a couple great moments that made it dope. It wasn't like the whole show from top to bottom was just super amazing. It was a very enjoyable show, SummerSlam was, for sure. But I feel like they're putting a lot behind this Clash because it's going to be 60,000 people there. Plus, I think they might get up to 70,000 people. So that's WrestleMania. That's not, you know, Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank numbers. It ain't 25, 30,000, 40,000, 60 something thousand, possibly 70 plus thousand people. Everybody's excited about wrestling right now in WWE. WrestleMania tickets, they did a record first day in sales, which scares me. I hope I can still get my ticket because I'm 1,000% going to WrestleMania in LA. That is without question. I will be there. Wrestling on We gotta be at WrestleMania in LA. That's a must. So I'm gonna spend about 3-4 days out there just having a blast. LA's like I call it my third home. Hawaii, I call my second home, but I've been to LA way more times. So technically that would be my second home, especially since I was shopping for apartments there at one point. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I just hope Drew is going to be okay for his matchup in Cardiff, man. It should be good, man. Just, you know, rest that back, man. Come out, cut some promos, don't take no bumps until the match, and you know, I think he'll be just fine. You know what I mean? If you ask me, I think Drew McIntyre will be just fine. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. We have a lot of news to cover, so I guess we'll start getting through it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Um Moxley had a match versus Effie for the GCW World Title that he retained. Apparently, he's still the or it's announced, or he's going to retain. It's been announced. He actually Moxley has a match against. This is crazy. Okay, so there was rumors that Nick Gage was, you know, talking about his career, whatever, how he wanted to go out, and now there is a championship versus career match going down between Nick Gage and John Moxley. I'm interested to see how I know how this is going to go. It's going to be a bloodbath. I'm assuming this is Nick Gage's retirement match, which is good. He needs to retire. That man is be one step from death in pretty much every match. So, you know, I'm not mad seeing, you know, I mean, I don't know, you know, his personal business or whatever, but, you know, Nick Gage's style of wrestling kind of ain't my style of wrestling. It's a little too bloody. Like, John Moxley is my limit when it comes to blood. If I wanted to see, like, people actually get hurt, I just watch UFC. So I'm not actually trying to see people actually get hurt. You know what I mean? One of the fun parts about this sport is that people can just show up to work the next day and look like nothing happened. It's cool. I don't mind that part. That means they get to be on TV all the time and entertaining me. So I'm interested to see what happens on this GCW card. I don't watch GCW, but obviously with John Moxley being a big part of it, it's always interesting to see what he's doing over there. I think we might have a little bit more John Moxley news later in the show, but before we get to that, we're gonna talk about Bobby Lashley this month, or tonight. I said this Monday. Tonight, we have something to look for on Monday Night Raw because Bobby Lashley is apparently going to be facing an opponent he's never faced before. and he's going to be defending the US Championship in that match tonight. Who do you guys think is going to be? If it's going to be somebody he's never faced before, I'm not sure if we're getting another return. That could be a little, you know, surprise waiting for us, or maybe not. I don't. Maybe it could be somebody already on the roster. Who hasn't he faced on the WWE roster that we would want to see him face? Um, it's not going to be Gunther, obviously. Gunther's maybe it'll. Has he fought Shinsuke? Shinsuke can't go for he's on a different brand, so that wouldn't make any sense. Who on Monday Night Raw can Bobby Lashley face for the US title? I can't. Who's up there that would make sense for Bobby Lashley to face? I can't really come up with any names off the top of my head who aren't already in the picture, or who he hasn't already faced at some point. Um, Maybe it'll be somebody like Angel Garza, who we'll talk about next, but maybe it'll be somebody like that. I know he's in the tag team, but tag team wrestlers fight for singles titles all the time in WWE. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't really care to see that match. It's a squash match, in my opinion, but whatever. If it happens, who could it be? I have no idea who he could possibly be. Has he fought Finn Balor? That would be fire. He could fight somebody from the Judgment Day. He could fight Finn Balor or Damian Priest. It can't be AJ because they fought, right? And he's a baby face. Like, I think it's for sure gonna be a heel. 100% gonna be a heel. Ooh, I like that. I like that, KGM. I like that. I like that. Bring back Dijak tonight. Because we've already heard the rumors that Dijak possibly coming back repackaged as his old gimmick, which might be happening for a lot of wrestlers. But oh yeah, he did fight Finn Balor at WrestleMania one year, didn't he? He sure did. Was it this past WrestleMania? Nah. Was it? That was WrestleMania? Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania? That happened? Am I tripping? I don't remember that. What WrestleMania did that happen at? I swear I don't remember that. That's sad, because if that happened, that's a pretty big match, and I just have no recollection of Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. But I would love to see Bobby Lashley versus Dijak. I mean, I would like to see Bobby Lashley versus Finn. If it hasn't happened, I wouldn't. But Bobby Lashley versus somebody like Damian Priest or Dijakovic, somebody, a big guy, somebody that could actually be a threat. You'd be like, oh shit, this might be a little dangerous for Bobby. You know what I mean? He get caught slipping. I don't know how Dijak is gonna do feast your eyes on Bobby Lashley. Whoever Bobby faces, he's gonna beat. I'm assuming. I don't think Bobby's about to lose the US title tonight. I don't see why he would, unless that. Well, I mean, Triple H trying to put over new people, and if Bobby's gonna be in the world title picture, which I keep pounding the pavement for, where he should be up there with Brock and Roman and all those guys consistently, not fighting for mid-card titles, but fighting for the big cards. Imagine Roman Reigns going for the US title. Exactly. That's where Bobby Lashley should be right now. That's the status he should be at if you want to make him feel like this super duper star, which he clearly is. He's over like Rover, but it's just that one little final step to make him a final boss, man. I think that's what they got to do for Bobby Lashley at this point. But we got a lot of possible name changes going on in WWE. Name reversions. Is reversions a word? I don't even know if that's a word. I just made that up, I think. But we got wrestlers reverting back to their old ring names, possibly in some cases, and definitely in some other cases, because like I mentioned just a second ago, Angel Garza tweeted out just a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday, that he will be going back to being Angel Garza, which is really good. And his cousin, Humberto Carrillo, is going back to Humberto Carrillo, not just Humberto. We mentioned this before, but it's official now. It's kind of rumblings. I think I actually mentioned that they should do that, and then the next day or two, it was like he tweeted it out that it was going to happen. So That's good because who the fuck is Angel? Is that a girl or a guy? Is that somebody who works at the grocery store or the hair salon? I don't know who the fuck Angel is. I know who Angel Garza is. That's a pro wrestler. That's a damn good one, actually. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that that man is getting his name Umberto. It just sounds like a guy who is uh is a painter. Sounds like a guy who you know, goes to work and come home to his, 4 or 5 kids and just hangs out and drinks some beer, some Coronas, and hangs out. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't sound like a professional wrestler. Umberto Carrillo sounds like, you know what I mean, fabulous professional wrestler. So it's just those names, man. It makes a huge difference. Now, somebody like Champa, who had Tommaso, which is also an awesome name, taken away from him. Hopefully, he gets his full name back. Hopefully, that's something that he reverts back to soon. Even though Champa is still a great name by itself. Sometimes it works. But we have a name that was changed completely. Someone who lost both of their names and got it replaced with one name, and that is the one and only Doudrop, who I feel like her name was like more a shot at her figure or something. I don't know. It just, what the hell is a dewdrop and why is a dewdrop? I'll do you one better. Who is a dewdrop on my Drac shit? But what the fuck, man? They changed Piper Niven's name, which sounds like an intimidating wrestler. It could even be a babyface. It's just a good name, Piper Niven. They changed their name to Dewdrop. Why? It's not the 1980s. Everybody doesn't have to have this stupid, corny name that you can put on a fucking doll or a toy package. Piper Niven was a perfectly fine name. Like, people know that wrestlers go by their real names. A lot of wrestlers have multiple names. The Rock is Dwayne Johnson. People know how these things work. You know what I mean? It's like, is just so fucking weird that they would think that that was a good idea. But hopefully, Piper said, I don't have the quote here, but she said she didn't mind the name change. What she was more worried about was creative for the actual gimmick. She's like, they're going to give me the name. It's whatever. I'll make it work. But you know what I mean, I'm more concerned with actually having something to do. You know what I mean, and actually having something that makes sense and some direction for the character is what she said. So, I agree 1000%. Like, I still think that the Dewdrop name is dumb as fuck, but they could have made it work. We got used to saying Dewdrop. It was just Dewdrop. Dewdrop and Nikki Ash. Is like what it was. We got used to it, but they weren't doing anything with her. Nothing. They had this whole situation where she walked up on Nikki Ash, like, are you ready to start taking things seriously? And then they proceeded to lose every fucking match after that. So is she taking things seriously? I don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't know. Let me. Sorry if the sound was a little echoey. I just realized my window was wide open. But yeah, it just sounds better automatically. Yeah, it's like, what are they doing, man? Like, she can't be taking herself seriously. She's just gonna go out there and lose every match with Nikki Ash, and I just don't want them to be a tag team unless Nikki drops the fucking comic book character gimmick. Like, why is she still wearing a mask? She said she's not almost a superhero anymore. So why the fuck are you still wearing a superhero costume, Nikki Ash? So hopefully Dewdrop gets her name back and she goes back to being Piper Niven sometime soon. But like I said, we got a lot of news to get through. So shit, what we gonna talk about next? Let's talk about well, we know Hit Row returned on Friday Night SmackDown. Let's talk about a little cryptic post that the homie Swerve may have put out there. He said, what did he say on the joint? Well, this story came this story came from Wrestling Inc. It says on Friday night, fans saw a surprise return to Hit Row. WWE brought back the trio Top Dollar, B-Fab, and Ashante the Adonis. Why do they have the in quotation? That's okay. That's not good punctuation. This followed a speculation of them returning. Now after hearing familiar theme song ring out over Raleigh, North Carolina, it's official. Hit Row is back. Hit Row. If you didn't know, now you know. The OG3 is back. But, obviously they were missing a member. Swerve Strickland, formerly Swerve Scott, is obviously a big part of AEW's roster right now. He's World Tag Team Champion over there with Keith Lee. Strickland, obviously left WWE. He got fired, with the rest of the guys. He got fired like everybody else because Vince McMahon is completely out of touch. But now the Hit Row is back in WWE. Gaiden Keen on Twitter made it clear that they wanted to see Strickland reunited with the rest of the group. They said that WWE needs to sign back Strickland and that he was wasting away in AEW. Well, Strickland saw that post and shared his reaction. He quoted the wasting away part and added a suspicious emoji, like the suspicious emoji, while also posted a picture of all of AEW's current champions, who he currently is. Was he a champion in WWE once he got to the main roster? No, because he was only there for like a cup of coffee. Now he was a champion, great NXT North American champion in NXT, a great one, led Hit Row to great things. Obviously, people clamoring for him, especially him, to be on the main roster, but no one was mad when they all got called up, even though B-Fab is a little green. Top Dollar, a little green. Ashanti got it. Ashanti got it in the ring. He's phenomenal in the ring, no pun intended. But he's great in the ring. But Top Dollar's a big guy, but he moves really well. So, obviously a lot of potential. Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way backstage, apparently. But in another story that's come out over the last couple of days, he rubbed a lot of people wrong backstage, but it wasn't Triple H. Apparently, people would always come complaining about Top Dollar, and Triple H would be like, you don't do that shit to me, and I'm the boss. So that's all that really matters, which I don't 100% agree with. Unless he was just pissing off all those old fucks that were fired, then whatever. Everybody, I'm sure, pissed them off. And a lot of people probably just dealt with their bullshit. Top Dollar was probably just one of those people, similar to Bray, which we'll get into later, who was just like, nah, I'm not with that bullshit, man. That's stupid, or this is, I'm this good. I want to be in, just having a say, having a voice, and speaking up. And obviously, when you're that big, you might seem a little intimidating when you're trying to get some points across. You know what I mean? And he's got that brash New York swag, so I could see where it could rub the people the wrong way. Very quickly. You know what I mean? If you're not used to being around that type of person. I got a bunch of friends from New York, so that shit don't bother me. I get them. You know what I mean? I understand them. You know what I mean? I'm similar to them, so I can't really be too mad at Top Dollar for voicing his opinion backstage, or, as long as he's not being an arrogant asshole or treating his coworkers like shit, which is something you don't want to do in pro wrestling, because a lot of the locker room is about camaraderie and everybody working together, and people, it's not always peaches and cream and all that stuff. Everybody doesn't always get along, but in 2022, it's way different than it used to be. An attitude era and eras out, around that time, because wrestlers were trying to step on each other's neck to get that number one spot. Now it seems like most wrestlers are just cool as long as they can keep their fucking job at this point. Like, we're on TV enough. You give us a good story, cool. We ain't got to be the super center of attention, because there's a lot of TV time to go around in WWE. So hopefully there'll be an hour less of TV time to go around at some point. But yeah, so Swerve Strickland definitely, I don't know if he should have responded, but he responded it with the same response that I would get. Obviously, we talked about Top Dollar saying we're not looking for any new members, so stop trying to add every black free agent to the group. We're not taking applications. And if you don't know, because I don't even know if I knew this, but Ashanti and Top Dollar were a tag team, and B-Fab was supposed to be their manager. And it was a Triple H idea to actually add Swerve to the group just because it fit. They all made music. Swerve had the podcast, the studio. His whole gimmick was he made music, and Top Dollar and Ashanti and B-Fab's been making music and modeling for a decade, they said, whatever. So Top Dollar obviously bars all day. Ashanti, I don't know if he really make music. I don't know if that's his thing. You know what I mean? But, he fits the group, you know what I mean? Because he fly, because it's definitely all about the details. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think those guys will be fine as a tag team with B-Fab as the manager, long as she don't get in the ring and expose herself or anything like that. Just let her be a mouthpiece. I really hate when she introduces herself and says, "I'm B-Fab because I be Fab." That's just like, that's not bars, B-Fab. That's not, you with Top Dollar. He got bars. Like, he should tell you that's not, you can't rhyme Fab with Fab. Like, it's no. It's stupid and it sounds dumb and it's annoying. And as soon as she says it, I'll be like, I don't like them as much. And then I go right back to liking them. But it's like, it's like, I hate when she introduces herself. It's so fucking cringe. Let's see. We could talk about Paige. I don't want to rehash all that old stuff about Paige. Let's see. Oh, did you guys know Sonny Kiss was in the faction? Sonny Kiss turned heel on Orange Cassidy, kicked him in the balls, which is hella ironic. And then, and then she joined the Trust Busters with Parker Bardot and Ari Daivari and all these guys. Like, all right, Daivari is gonna get a massive push. It looks like in AEW. Apparently, they've officially signed that man, and that's why he's been on TV a lot recently. But yeah, it looks like he's gonna be around for a while now. And he's great on the mic and in the ring. Ari Daivari's great in the ring. Remember what he was doing in NXT when he did get his chances over there. He's a in-ring beast, but you know, I'm the whole rich guy character. I mean, cool. You know what I mean? I've seen it before. Hopefully he's able to execute it the right way. But they've been on TV a lot, and I don't even know what their group is because none of them match. Like, none of them look like they would be friends outside of wrestling. That's weird to say. That's not true. I have friends who look like all of those guys. But seriously, it's just like, this just looks like a makeshift crew. Like, it's just like everybody who's not in the faction, you guys are in a faction now. That's what it felt like. But yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens with Sonny Kiss and the Trust Busters, how that plays out. Cause yeah, that's interesting to say the least. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what words to use. I know it's 2022. I don't even know. So I'm going to just move on. You know what I mean? I'm going to move on to people who I can't identify. Let's see. What do we talk about next? Let's see. Oh, we do have some Finn Balor news because he spoke up in a recent interview, or I think it was kind of an interview. He was talking with who is he talking to? WWE's El Brunch. It was a WWE show. They have so many random shows, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But he said, speaking about Roman Reigns and their, Extreme Rules match of 2021, when the Demon finally lost. Let's all try to forget about that. He said, well, I think me and Roman have a lot of unfinished business. There was a little bit of questionable finish to our last match at Extreme Rules. Remember how the turnbuckle exploded? So fucking stupid. When the top rope mysteriously broke in our championship match. It was real fucking mysterious, wasn't it? So I feel like there's definitely a rematch due with myself and Roman. So hopefully we'll get to that soon after Clash at the Castle. That's interesting. I wonder if that's like a thing that's actually been talked about, maybe. Finn's a super heel. I think Roman is turning babyface soon. I would have because he's the number one heel. They said that fuck. Karrion Kross is the number 2 heel on SmackDown now. So that means Roman is still the number 1 heel. So I don't think they're changing him to babyface. He's just cool. Everybody loves Roman Reigns. So I don't know. Especially if Roman, maybe if he loses the belts and becomes even more of a dick and just starts doing crazy shit to try to get the belts back, maybe he'll be able to stay heel. But Roman and the Usos are just fucking cool, man. Like, even when they doing fucked up shit, they're good at it. So people like them. I'm saying maybe Sami Zayn will be turning babyface. I don't fucking know, but I don't know how they get to Finn and Roman with both of them being heels right now. There's clearly a story there, but why would you go back to it? They have to explain why they're going back to the story. Uh, it has to be for more reason than, oh well, the rope broke and he gets a rematch 2 years later. Like, that's not gonna work for me. So they're gonna have to figure out something to get to that match. Do I want to see it? Not particularly. I don't I don't particularly care. Um yeah, I just Finn Balor needs to. I do want to see him in the world title picture. I mean, I'm not mad about that, but I don't know. I don't know. But in other news, we'll talk about. Hold on, let me get the chat. Sorry, I'm way behind on the chat. He said, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember that shit either, Nigel. From the US saying Kurt fought Corp. Oh God, yeah, that was bad too. Man, there's a lot of stuff that went down. That was okay. So Bobby and our Finn fought. That's man. OG3 was a sneak diss. Yes, it felt like a sneak diss the second he said it. It was clear, like the OG3. I was like, really? Were they the OG3? And then obviously I heard the news that they were the original three members and he got added. So yeah, it was a sneak diss on some levels. We got some news from the women's division. Obviously, the women's tag team championship tournament is underway. That should continue tonight. Hopefully, the match is good tonight because the first two matches, let's just be honest, they were shit. I saw some people, some people I expect to just be super positive about everything, but also you have to be realistic. Now, me as someone who's not a pro wrestler, I would have loved to have been a pro wrestler. I wish I would have got into it actually trying to be a pro wrestler when I was in my 20s. But now, ain't no fucking way I'm doing any of this shit. So I try to be like a little reserved when saying, oh, that shit was trash or they sucked or blah, blah, blah. Because I get it. Like, I can't do none of that shit. So, but at the same time, I also can't play basketball like LeBron James, but if he has a bad game, I could say LeBron James had a bad game, or that guy sucked on the court tonight or on the football field, and it's the same with pro wrestling. And it's gotten even worse because shit's scripted. You practiced, so you practiced every move, or at least talked about it, what was going to happen, and you still fucked up. So just like any other sport, it's okay to criticize these people when they make mistakes. And the first two tag team matches, especially last week's with Shotzi, just oh man, she gotta get her shit together. Like I said, she might have the ips right now, but she's just been botching a lot, and it is what it is. But speaking of the ladies, like I was saying, some ladies that we're going to talk about, some ladies who are in the tournament. The first being Zoe Stark, who was injured. She was out with a severe knee injury for a while, but while she was out, apparently she took up a backstage role in NXT. She said when asked why, she said, well, to become a better performer, number one, I knew I was going to come back and I knew producing was going to help me inside the ring. Stark said, when you coach somebody, two people are learning, and I'm learning at the same time because now I'm really having to think about it. It's amazing to be able to do both sides, and then you get a different side. And like, oh, this is what producers have to go through. I had no idea. She also said she spoke to about her love of the WWE Performance Center, saying, I love coming into this performance center and I love being here and talking to all the coaches, learning as much as I can, even helping out other students here who are learning, like Nikita. This is my home. I would live here if they would let me. That's a little extreme. Don't move into the performance center. It's probably no comfortable beds, just cots. But anyways, that's why Zoe Stark is destined to be great. This is why from the second I saw this woman, I knew she was outside. She looks like a pro wrestler. She's jacked, got a great look, adorable with her freckles. Like she's got it. But in ring, she came out her first match. I don't even remember her first match was against, honestly. But it was a pretty high profile match, and she killed it. I was like, oh, this girl is good. And she has not slowed down since that first match. She has only continued to get better. And I would assume it's for reasons like this. Taking the opportunity, like everybody's not doing this. Some people just like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna get right, I'm gonna do what I do, and I see y'all when I see y'all. But she definitely has put in a lot of work to make sure that she is, uh, taking advantage when the brass ring is above her head so she can actually grab it. So I see Zoe going to the main roster very soon. When you see somebody take an initiative like this and putting in work like this, they should be, rewarded with bigger opportunities. And I see Zoe doing a lot of big things. I also see her making it to the finals of this women tag team tournament. Uh, so hopefully, I think her match might be tonight. She's teaming with Nikita Lyons, and I guess the chat affectionately calls her Thakita. So Thakita Lyons will be in action tonight or Friday. I'm not 100% sure which, because there's two more matches in the first round. So we'll see how that goes. What else we got? Oh, yeah, another story about another woman in the women's tag team division. Speaking of a tag team, even though she already has a tag team partner, and that is Raquel Gonzalez Rodriguez. It's Rodriguez now. Yeah, Raquel Rodriguez now. Um, yeah, she was actually talking about all of the returns and how exciting it is for Triple H to be in charge, blah, blah, blah. And she was asked about, other people, like Kai and Sky, the other team that's is probably going to win the tournament, if I'm predicting correctly in my head. She said, I'm so excited and happy for her because she was talking about Dakota, her former tag team partner. She said, I'm so excited for her because she's an absolute superstar. The things that girl does and the way she just moves and walks with confidence, I learned so much from her just by being under her wing for so long. You know what? I mean, she's just been a big part of my career as well. So seeing her on Raw just makes me absolutely happy. Am I a little bit sad that she's not on SmackDown? Yes, but you know what? She's out there and she's killing it. Maybe somewhere down the road we'll reunite at some point. And this is the key word. I hope. So, Raquel Rodriguez clearly doesn't fuck with Aaliyah. What if Aaliyah woke up and read this? This is the first thing Aaliyah wrote. Like, bitch, what? so, so we're clearly not winning shit, according to you. You already got a new tag team partner, bitch. What the fuck? That's. And they won their match, and they look pretty good winning it. Like, I like them. They're one of the teams in the tournament of the 8 teams that actually is like, oh, that makes sense. I like those guys. They both got pretty smiles. They can, like I like the big girl and the little girl and how the tag team works. But apparently Raquel is like, no, bitch. I like Dakota better, and hopefully I'll be back with her one day soon. So shots fired, faux show. Yeah, so I mean, I don't really want to see Raquel Rodriguez and Dakota Kai back as a tag team because Dakota Kai is a heel. She's a great heel. She could be a babyface too. She was a great babyface in NXT when she was. But I just don't. They were kind of like a makeshift team, even though they worked really well. But I think they worked really well because Dakota was the veteran, and Raquel was like her, her heavy for the most part. And like she said, she was under the learning tree of Dakota for a little bit, which is ironic because Dakota's the one who got fired. This man, nothing made sense for a while. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe, but clearly that's a shot at Aaliyah if you ask me, because she's already a tag team, man. Enjoy it while it's going on instead of welcoming other people to the group before they're even free to be in the group. She's on a whole nother brand. But anyways, moving on to our next story. We'll talk about, obviously, everything's different. Michael Cole talked about, how things are different. He said it on air. There's nobody in my ear. A lot of things are different now. So obviously, every commentator is probably feeling that, especially the lead guys. Corey Graves being one of them. Who's obviously really, really, really good at his job, but was under the microscope of VKM for a long time and had to say some dumb shit including taking shots at Sasha and Naomi and all kind of stupid shit that he was made to do just because he was the guy on the mic with the earpiece in, and that's what it was. But he gave a lot of insight on his, commentary now, and how it is with, Triple H being in charge. And he said that he loves the cliffhangers. He said the element of surprise, you got to keep people guessing. Obviously, with Karrion Kross coming out at the end of SmackDown and Dexter Lumis coming out at the end of Raw, like the cliffhangers of all, like everybody can't wait to see what happens with Dexter Lumis tonight. Is he going to show back up? What's going to happen? Like the cliffhangers are dope. It makes people watch the next day, but that's kind of what Corey was saying. He also said not everything needs to be a surprise, but not everything is going to captivate you in that way. But right now, in the past few weeks, I'm having more fun calling Monday Night Raw because I love being surprised. He said, I prefer not to have any clue as to what's happening on the show, which is crazy. I get to react. I get to be a fan. I get to play the role of a super knowledgeable wrestling fan rather than a snarky bad guy announcer. Ever since retiring from his in-ring career or whatever, he's been a SmackDown commentator. Graves always been a heel commentator. That's kind of been his thing, just the snarky asshole who's always siding with the heels no matter what. Literally, no matter what, he's trying to find some way to side with the heels, even when it makes no fucking sense, which was always annoying. I'm glad that he's having fun. He just gets to be a wrestling fan. If something's bad and he don't like it, he gets to say, "Oh, that guy's doing something bad. I don't like it," or he gets to root for who he wants to. He's just like, it probably just feels more natural to him, which I'm sure is the case for anybody that would be in that position. So everybody's enjoying their jobs just a little bit more under Triple H, which is, not surprising at all. What else we got? What else do we have? Let's talk. We could talk about we could talk about the Freddie Prinze Jr. thing. Freddie Prinze Jr., I'll just mention this real quick. Shout out to Freddie Prinze Jr., who is apparently starting a wrestling promotion. I'm not sure what it's called, but apparently, if you don't know who Freddie Prinze Jr. was, he was WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, but he's starting a wrestling promotion or whatever. And he said that Karrion Kross was supposed to be his world heavyweight champion for his new promotion. That's one of the things Karrion was booked for with his indie bookings or whatever. But apparently Freddie Prinze Jr. being a motherfucking G and just someone who understands and loves the business, has always loved the business from the beginning, since he's been involved or whatever. He was like, nah, man, when Karrion came to him and was like, yo, man, I want to talk to you about something. He kind of already knew what it was because he said that he was about to send Karrion a message like, yo, bro, Vince is gone. You probably going to be getting a call soon, champ. You know what I mean? Because clearly Vince didn't know what he was doing, and Triple H does. So you probably going to be getting a call soon. And he was right, obviously. So when Karrion went back to him, he's like, I already know what it is, player. Go get your bag. You know what I mean? If you stay here and try to be champion for my little bitty promotion, you a fucking fool. You should probably go to WWE and be world champion because that's what they're probably going to make you. So shout out to Freddie Prinze Jr. for doing that, and for, being so involved in wrestling at this point still that he's trying to start a wrestling promotion. That's pretty fucking cool. Can't be mad at that or whatever. So it is what it is, man. Good for him, good for Karrion. I'm glad the wrestling world just seems a lot more happy these days, just because wrestling world feels a lot more happy. So moving on to one of our main topics of the day. I don't even want to harp on this for too long, honestly, because it just annoys me. It's more VKM shenanigans. Vince McMahon apparently took a lot of time out of his day to make sure that Bray Wyatt was not happy at work, which is really fucking annoying when you think about it, and very, very believable. But apparently Vince McMahon would basically just shit all over Bray Wyatt and talk about how fat he was and what his shape was like, and just constantly insulted Bray Wyatt to the point that man did not even want to be at work, and probably was happy that he got fired at one point just because Like, why would anybody want to tolerate that from their boss? They wouldn't. It's ridiculous. But this was Vince's way of getting back at Bray anytime Bray complained about something that was fucking stupid. Maybe like Alexa Bliss bleeding black shit from her forehead. Stupid. Maybe like me pulling out a big toy fucking clown hammer during a fucking Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins. Maybe me losing to Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell when I'm a fucking demon character is stupid. There's a whole bunch of shit that he had to do that was stupid, and I'm sure he spoke up about it. And every time he spoke, shut up, you fat ass. That's what I heard in my head. That's what it felt like. Like every time he said something, Vince just be like, shut up, fat ass, go do it. He was just like, I'll go do it begrudgingly. You know what I mean? But it's just like, come on, man. Nobody should have to deal with that at work. That's not a good work environment. You be called fat by your boss. Now, I know they're in a sport, but it's pro wrestling, my nigga. That's like calling, well, you can call a lineman fat, but, because sometimes they'll get too big and they can't move. Like, there's different things. But Bray Wyatt was perfectly fine in the ring. His look was a part of his character. His look was perfect for his character. Imagine Bray Wyatt coming out looking like Bobby Lashley and trying to do the character work that he does. Just imagine that. I want y'all to imagine him with jacked up muscles coming out of his neck like Braun Strowman or somebody looking like somebody like that and trying to do the elaborate character work that he's doing. It wouldn't be as believable, my G. It just wouldn't. Like, Karrion Kross kind of does it a little bit, but what the shit the Fiend does, the shit that Bray Wyatt does, his look, the creepy swamp guy, you know what I mean? It's like his look matched him perfectly. Imagine him being all big and swole, wearing those fucking Hawaiian shirts with the little fedora. It would look dumb as fuck. The reason it all worked is because he got a gut and he looks like some country hillbilly from the sticks that would kidnap you and skin you alive. He looks like that guy. So it's like, you don't want to get someone who looks like they had LA Fitness 5 days a week. You know what I mean? Then it doesn't go with his character. So I just don't understand that. Like, what did Vince want that man to do? Like, get skinny? Then his character it's not the same person. He's Bo Dallas. Like, he doesn't need to lose any weight. He doesn't need to change his shape. He's a fucking pro wrestler. Did Vince tell Junkyard Dog or fucking Yokozuna or Umaga or I don't know. There were so many out of shape wrestlers. Big Boss Man came out there with his gut poking through his fucking cop shirt. Like, it was so many wrestlers who were out of shape that I've never heard a story about Vince McMahon calling them fat. It's probably because they didn't bitch and moan, or I don't even bitch and moan. That was the wrong word to use. They didn't actually complain about shit that was whack. You know what I mean? They just did it. You know what I mean? Because that's what you did when you worked for Vince. You just did it. And there wasn't a lot of options, especially for a long time after WCW closed down. Like, you was either doing it or you was working somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it was like, and somewhere else meant the Indies or Taco Bell. You know what I mean? It's like they didn't have much choice. So, the Fiend, I don't think he really cared about his choices. That man go to Hollywood. He can go do anything. He just had a kid with beautiful JoJo. Like, he probably like, man, fuck this shit. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So, Vince, man, is just such a relief that he is gone. And he's not around to hold these people back anymore, to insult them into doing what he wants, like, which is just, that's some manipulative, narcissistic bullshit. Like, I'm gonna tell you fucking whack you are and hope that gets you to change. Like, that ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? That ain't gonna work at all. So hopefully he actually is okay now that Vince is gone, and we'll see the Fiend or Bray Wyatt. I'd rather see both of them. I want to see the Fiend back because the Fiend was an awesome character, so awesome. They just they destroyed that. They burnt them and came like, it's just like, what? They just did so much dumb shit with the Fiend that just pissed everybody off, man, including myself. So hopefully he gets another shot in WWE. He's not going to AEW. Just let that go. No, he's not going to AEW. He's going back to WWE on the big stage where he can have his massive entrance and get the big bag and all that. So hopefully it'll be sooner than later. Hopefully we see him by WrestleMania. I would love to see the Fiend Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania against somebody. I don't know who. I would like to see him destroy Goldberg. Personally, that's what I want. I would like to see The Fiend versus Goldberg part 2, and I would like to see The Fiend absolutely destroy him. But I don't think that Goldberg is going for that, personally. He's just one of those guys who doesn't really get the business. He's like, I'm only losing to Brock Lesnar. That's pretty much, I feel like that's Goldberg's stance. I'm only losing to Brock. So that's what that is, but we'll see what happens. What other news stories we got? Um oh, Pete Dunne teased going back to his old gimmick, which is cool. He posted a picture of the old Pete Dunne in NXT. Hopefully he'll go back and he doesn't have to be Butch, little pitbull Butch, who, shouldn't be fighting for any title anytime. You know what I mean? But this is a man who was NXT champion for a very long time. NXT UK champion. Yeah, NXT UK champion for a very long time. And, should always be at the top of the mid card or somewhere around there. Like, he's one of the best wrestlers in the company. And he hasn't really gotten to show that since he's been on the main roster. He's just been running around like a rabid dog or some shit. It's just been really weird. But who knows how things are going to play out? I don't know, but I'm sure, if he wants his name to be changed, I feel like, Triple H won't have, he won't be too mad about that. I don't think Triple H will go against that if he wanted to actually do that. But in another story, we'll talk about, let's talk about Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan teased a major change to her look, which is interesting. Actually, I don't care. If she changes her look, who gives a shit, honestly. Gruss, what's going on, man? Gruss in the building. The super villain of the IWC in the building. You late. I was late, too. Don't feel bad. Oh, man. Let's talk about Ronda Rousey, man, before we get up out of here, because Ronda, said some funny shit. She's back to being the Ronda Rousey that we all know and love in pro wrestling. She's not doing these stupid scripted promos where she's like, what's my line? What's my line? Oh, yeah, I'm going to tear your arm off. And what else was I supposed to say? Why are you guys booing? Why are you guys booing me? Oh, man, her promos sucked under Vince McMahon. Let's just call it what it is. Like, she's horrible on the mic when she's being scripted. But when she's just allowed to be the Ronda Rousey she was in UFC, when she was cutting promos on all them bitches in real life, when she's able to do the whole Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch thing where they were just talking shit to each other and it wasn't super scripted. They were just going, it was dope. Just like this past Friday night when she came out on SmackDown, she came through the crowd. You know what I mean? She just came through the crowds like, hey, I'm here, bitch, and I got a bag of money. And she dumped it on the table, and she walked out and cussed out Shayna Baszler on her way out the door. But, yeah, she tweeted the picture of her dumping out the money and told WWE to use that shit for budget cuts. She said maybe you can rehire some people and bring them in so I can have some asses to kick. I love that Ronda Rousey. That is the Ronda Rousey that I am a fan of. That is the Ronda Rousey that I want to see more of. Just the I don't give a fuck Ronda Rousey. I'm not a babyface or a heel. I'm just here to fuck some shit up. That's the Ronda Rousey that we love. She will get cheered immensely as she's super over. She's Ronda Rousey. People love Ronda Rousey. As long as she's not shitting on the fans and doing all that. But when you go to these shows, like, or you watch SmackDown, like, the fans go crazy when she's out there, even when she's doing crazy shit. So just make her stone cold. Just make her stone cold, and let her do her thing. Now, somebody who wasn't a big fan of Ronda's new gimmick was the man. And I don't mean a man. I mean Becky Lynch, who is actually a woman, but the man. Yeah. So Becky Lynch just retweeted the picture, the post that said, yeah, Ronnie loves the man. Basically because apparently Becky Lynch had did this same thing. And she did. I remember it. Once I saw, I was like, oh, yeah, she did do that a couple years ago. Because Becky had a segment that was very similar where she got fined and suspended and she threw some money or dumped some money out. It was just like, oh, so she did the exact same thing Becky did a couple years ago. She does love the man. It was back in February 2020 when this happened during the segment. And yeah, it was you know, a lot of parallels between the segments, man. So you gotta, Becky's like, hey, she loves the man. Yeah, he said, Gruss said, broke Becky being a hater. First of all, I don't think Becky's broke. I don't think she's broke. Her body's broken. Her arm is definitely broken. Her body is broken at the current time, but I think she's rich. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say she's rich. So- but it was just a funny shot, and I love it because we're clearly building to this match. They should be building to Becky versus Ronda at WrestleMania. I know Becky and Bianca were out at that WrestleMania event. Say, hey, maybe WrestleMania will face off again. No, I don't want to see Becky and Bianca again. That's over. They're both baby faces. I don't need to see them fighting for the belt. Let Becky go after Ronda somehow. I don't know how she's going to get on SmackDown to go after that belt. But I'd rather see Becky and Ronda go at it one-on-one since we had the triple threat at that one Mania, which was phenomenal outside of the little debauched ending or whatever. But still a great match. I was there live. We'll never forget it. But yeah, I think Becky and Ronda should be the WrestleMania match. Should be one of the main events. And yeah, it should be for a title, obviously. So I don't know how they're gonna get Becky to SmackDown. Well, she's injured. She could just come back to SmackDown, honestly. You know what I mean? She could just come back because she's hurt and she can come back and be like, yeah, I wanted to try something new. I'm back on SmackDown. I think SmackDown, they would have to bring up some other star power. You know what I mean? They still got, no, Liv's obviously the SmackDown Women's Champion, but they got Bianca over there. They would probably have to bring some more people over. Like, I feel like Raquel needs to be maybe on Raw, maybe get a couple, maybe do some switcheroos. Apparently, there's a draft coming right after Cardiff. So if Clash at the Castle happens, and then they do a draft, which they should do, just arrange everything how it should be since you're doing the whole people coming back, all this, just put everybody where you get the feuds and everything situated. There's got to be a draft and make it dope. Don't do Vince McMahon or Stephanie come out and just reading names. That's not a fucking draft. You could just post that on the website. Do some real shit like the NFL. Like have a war room. And I remember when they did that with Fox and the other network, USA, and they had the war rooms with the robot and all that. Like, I like that. That was cool. We know it's fake, but it's cool. You know what I mean? I like it. So do something like that. Make it feel like some real shit again. So this interaction between Becky and Ronda is always pretty funny, the interactions they have. I don't know if Ronda's going to respond. I don't know what she would say because Becky was right. I don't even know if Ronda knew that segment happened in the past, but she definitely just copied and pasted. So, but it is what it is. I love both of these guys or girls. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with them next. Let's see. Let's talk about, before we get out of here, though, I do want to talk about the latest on Sasha and Naomi because they're, obviously the two biggest names out there in free agency right now that could be picked up by either brand. Obviously, if they were going to another brand that wasn't WWE, they wouldn't be able to do that till 2023, according to, I'm pretty sure that's Sasha's situation. I'm not sure about Naomi's, but I'm sure she's not able to just pop up on another brand right now. They did just kind of walk out on their contract, so that is what it is. But they are free agents right now at the current time and will be available soon. But if anything, I think that they'll be back in WWE. Dave Meltzer appeared on Sunday night's Main Event podcast and was asked if he heard anything new on Banks and Naomi. And Meltzer said that he's talked to people who would know, and the belief is that they are back. He said, everyone expects that they're in. It's just a question of which week they want to debut them. Debut? That's not the debut. I know what you meant, but whatever. Meltzer said, he also said, so since they are not in the tournament, I'm guessing that it's going to be the finals of the tournament or right after the finals that they show up. That's kind of how I'm reading it now. I guess they just felt it wasn't good to put them in the tournament itself. I think that they want to stagger these new and returning people coming in. Sasha and Naomi are obviously the biggest ones they can bring in, so you don't need to do it in 1 week. Everybody seems to think that they're in. It's just a question of which week. Yeah. same thing I've been saying. They're coming back, and I think it'll be soon. It makes no sense for them to be gone for any longer at this point. If they want to come back, if they're ready to come back, get in the ring, and just bring them back, man. Just go ahead and bring them back. Who gives a shit? I'm ready to see Sasha back on my TV. I'm definitely ready to see Naomi. I'm ready to see both of them back on my TV. Two of the most beautiful women in pro wrestling, and two of the best pro wrestlers in wrestling. So I definitely want to see these two ladies get back to it in WWE, preferably. I definitely want to see them back in WWE, especially with the way WWE is looking. All the matches, the potential matches, tag team or singles, that they can do. I don't even need them to be a tag team. I know they're going to be a tag team. Now it's like they're stuck together now. Like, it feels like they're a tag team for a long time now. Like, you break them up or split them up, it's just like, all right, but damn, they quit the company together. You know what I mean? And Naomi stuck with Sasha. She could have been like, bitch, you leaving. I ain't leaving. My husband's still working. Shit. So Naomi's like, nah, I'm out too. Like, they not doing this. So they together. So they got to be a team. They got to stick to being a team for a while. And I see them becoming tag team champions. They're already tag team champions technically, but I see them regaining those titles at some point soon after their return. I think Dakota Kai and Io Sky are gonna actually win the tournament, and as heels, and then you bring Naomi and Sasha back as the champion baby faces who went against the regime that is no longer there. Like, imagine how all the people who were, they're unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. They should listen to Vince and whoever else is telling, just do your job. And look what the fuck happened. Look who ended up being right. Oh, they didn't want to listen to the fucking creepers and the people who are burying people and calling people fat and firing everybody. Oh, they didn't want to listen to those people? Oh, because those people were trying to destroy their careers and doing nothing with the tag belts and all these, Sasha and Naomi are the problem, right? It's like, no, the problem was the problem, and the problem is now fucking gone. So now we can get back to business and letting Sasha be one of the greatest performers on the fucking planet Earth when it comes to pro wrestling. Naomi could go back to being a very more than serviceable pro wrestler who looks good, is good, could teach wrestlers, cuts decent promos when she's allowed to just be free, is a part of a lineage at this point and a family that's in pro wrestling at this point forever. You know what I mean? The Anoa'i family is in wrestling forever. You know what I mean? We know that. They're not going anywhere. The Rock's daughter's already wrestling. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's just one of those things that it's a family that's going to be in wrestling till wrestling isn't a thing again anymore. So, yeah, she's a part of that. So she needs to be in WWE, in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to these ladies coming back, and I want to see them with the belts, man. I want to see them treated right. You know what I mean? I wish there was an NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, and then we could get some of those teams possibly to the mix. I don't think we need two sets of Women's Tag Team Champions in WWE. It's just like, I don't think we need it. We got 3 sets of Men's Tag Team Championships. I don't think we need that either. You know what I mean? There could be NXT Tag Team Champions and WWE Tag Team. I don't think it need to be SmackDown, but that's just me. It's belts everywhere. AEW got too many belts as well. Maybe not. Yeah, they got to FTW belt, and then they bringing in ROH belts and GCW belts. There's just so much shit going on with AEW. It's just didn't Sammy and Tay defend some mixed tag team AAA titles. It's like, what? I didn't even know those belts existed before that match. It's like, okay, all right, I guess they're AAA mixed tag team champions. I had no fucking idea, but you're defending on your show, Tony. That's cool. Maybe get your belts over first for bringing in all these other random belts. Like, man, Jon Moxley having matches against the most random ass people and putting the AEW World Championship on the line, just, man, it seems really fucking weird. Word to Miro. He called it out. But yeah, man, that's it for today. I'm going to go wake my son up so we can go play. I appreciate you guys watching as always, man. If you didn't notice, I'm sure you guys did. You're always here. But if you're watching this and you don't know, I am doing other content on the channel besides just the live streams now. We're doing reaction videos. They're hilarious. We're going to try to have a lot of fun with those. Just reacting to different wrestling content on the internet. Today we uploaded AEW's Most Savage Moments. I love doing Savage Moments video because you get to react to all the best promo moments, all the craziest shit that was said in pro wrestling. We'll be doing all kinds of reaction videos tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll be uploading R-Truth's funniest moment. I record them, batch record them. So I got like 5 of them already recorded. Thumbnails already done. Here, I'll show you just for shits and giggles. I don't even know why I'm showing y'all this. I'll show y'all. There's the thumbnail for the R-Truth. R-Truth is hilarious. I just look at this thumbnail and laugh. I ain't gonna lie. I just look at the thumbnail and laugh. But we got that video coming out in a couple days. And yeah, man, we just gonna try to keep banging out more and more content on the channel. I told you I'm 100% focused on WoW Nation. All my other channels are gonna have to just take a back seat. I'll still be posting tech videos and stuff, tech reviews and stuff on my other channel. I'm gonna be streaming Rumbleverse on Twitch. I might stream it on this channel. It is a wrestling game, so I might be able to get away with streaming it on this channel. I'm gonna try a couple times and see if the algorithm just like ain't messing with it at all. And if it's not messing with it, then I'll just switch back over to just doing it on Twitch or just doing it on my YouTube gaming channel. But Rumbleverse is fucking fun. That game is a blast. If you haven't played Rumbleverse, it's basically a wrestling Fortnite. That's all it is wrestling. Is literally Fortnite but wrestling. It's so much fun. I haven't had this much fun playing a game in shit. I don't even remember how much fun the last time. Maybe when Modern Warfare first came out, or maybe I can't even think of a game that I had this much fun playing. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was amazing. Ratchet and Clank was amazing. God of War was amazing. I played that a few years ago. I want to replay that before the new God of War comes out. But this Rumbleverse game is, especially if you're a Fortnite fan. I played Fortnite for a while. When it was in the prime, of Fortnite, I was trying to play it, but I just wasn't that. I couldn't do the build. I know they have no build mode now, but I quit way before that and can't get back into it now. But they released the wrestling version of Fortnite. The game is fucking amazing. It's put together perfectly. Like the moves, how you do the moves, the way the game works, the priority that they give certain, it's just it's a free game. It's crazy that the game is free. Obviously, microtransactions out the wazoo. If you want to do anything to your character, you're going to pay some money. But if you just want to pick up and play the game, it's free. It's on all consoles and PCs. So I definitely highly recommend playing Rumbleverse if you just like to have some dumb fun and powerbomb people from the top of the building. It's great. It's like it's so much fun. AEW's game does look pretty damn good. The graphics look good. The gameplay looks good. They have mini games, which I am looking forward to. That's what I want from my pro wrestling games, man. Like, I want fun. Like, WWE 2K is fun when it comes out for, like, especially this year was great for, like, 2 months. And then I'm like, all right, I did everything. I could play online and get my ass whooped by all the people who just played this game too much and know every button and everything. And it's like, anybody could. This year, 2K22, anybody could play the game and be good at it, honestly. But it's just like it's too much sim. Like I'm trying to right now with all the stuff coming about NBA 2K23. I'm like, am I gonna play this game? They just making it more and more complicated to dribble, and I gotta do all these certain crazy button presses just to fucking do a dunk. Like I'm like, I don't have time to get that good at video games. Like I just don't. I got a kid. I got work. I don't have that much time. I don't have 10, 12 hours to put into a game to try to be the best at it. And like a game like Rumbleverse or maybe the AEW game is looking like I could just pick up and play it and have a blast with my friends or by myself or whatever. My son will enjoy me playing it because it's goofy shit going on. So I can't wait to play AEW's game. Do I play GTA? No, not since PS4. I beat it when it came out on PS4. Was that 9 years ago now? And I didn't play it. Like I didn't get into the GTA online. I tried years ago to get into it, and people just kept robbing and shooting me, and I wasn't having fun. So every time I get some shit, I just get robbed and murdered in the streets of GTA. So I was just like, yeah, I'm tired of getting shot in the head by 5-year-olds. I don't want to. It's kind of why I quit Fortnite too, getting beaten, trolled by little kids. Still throwing N bombs at you and shit. Like, damn, man, it's like you already murdered me. Now you wanna you wanna be racist too, little bastard. So, oh, GTA, like I love GTA. It's a great game. Like I can't wait till GTA 6 come out so I could play the story. But the online shit, I never really got into, which is unfortunate because obviously it's an amazing game. It's lasted almost a decade. So, yeah, excuse me. But that's it. Bring back NBA Jam facts. That is 1,000% facts, Gruss. Bring back NBA Jam ASAP. Bring back NBA Jam, please, and bring back NFL 2K. But make it like the original NFL 2K when it was fun, when everybody was trying to get away from the Madden Sim shit. And 2K came and it just felt a little more cheesy, a little more video gamey. I don't know. It's just like, I just want some NFL Blitz. That's what they need to bring back. Give me a new NFL Blitz. That game was so much fun, tackling people across the field. And it's just, I love games like that, man. Video games that felt like arcade games that I played when I was a kid. That's why I just played that Ninja Turtles game. That game was fun. It was only like 3-4 hours long, but it was fun. Yeah, so yeah, man. Speaking of video games, I don't know how we got on that. Oh yeah, we were talking about Rumbleverse. But yeah, go play Rumbleverse if you haven't. It's fun as hell, especially if you like Fortnite. So yeah, that's it for today's show, man. Appreciate you guys being locked and loaded as always. My son is in here rumbling around in his bed now, so I'm gonna go get him. Gruss, Dave, everybody in the building, KGM, Wow Nation, you already know what it is. Nigel, everybody that stopped through, man, I appreciate y'all so much. As always, go watch the reaction video I have earlier. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Do all of that good stuff that you do, man. I see y'all on the next one. Deuces. Deuces. Oh, wait a minute. Why isn't the outro playing? Why is it? Oh, there it goes.